zone.
Well, morning glory and hallelujah, everybody. Welcome to the morning after with Nick and Big J. More importantly, welcome to Tuesday, Big J. 29th day of October, 2024. My name, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, Big J.
Hello.
Big J, don't pull any punches. How are you, buddy?
Fine. Just dandy.
Yeah? Did you get some sleep last night?
Yeah.
You feel good about yourself and your surroundings?
Yeah.
All right. You feel comfortable and safe?
Yeah.
All right, I've done my job.
And warm.
You're warm?
I'm warm.
It's because you took the Prius today. You didn't drive in the motorcycle, huh?
I thought it was supposed to rain overnight, so I was like, it might be wet, but that did not seem to be the case today.
All the wetness was inside the car today, huh? I just meant you spilled something. Take it easy.
Nope, I didn't.
But, of course, we have a Tuesday show planned for you. What does that mean? Well, listen, we are chock full of things today. Number one, we need your help picking out a movie for Big J. We call it Streaming Dumbass, i.e. Screaming Dumbass, for one last week, as it is spooky season, so you have to choose a horror movie for Big J to watch this very evening. I've been keeping track. Do you know what the record of the horror movies are so far?
What do you mean the record?
Yes. How many
approval?
you've enjoyed and how many you didn't enjoy over the first 3 weeks of spooky season?
Zero, I think.
No, you're 1 and 2.
Oh, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will see if we can even it up, or if you guys lead Big J down a crooked path and he doesn't like the way that things work out. But he will be watching a movie tonight. Of course, we also have, Big J, another clue in the X-Rock murder mystery, speaking of spooky things.
Yeah.
Nobody solved it correctly yesterday, and so another clue to set you upon a straight path to the solution of this particular puzzle is coming your way at 7:30 this morning. We have a concert announcement, Big J.
Yeah.
As we look forward to the year 2025, which seems so crazy to think it's only 2 months away. But we have something that you can look forward to, and a nice little concert announcement that we are going to present to you before the end of the show today, right around 8 o'clock this morning. And then we do, Big J, also have to recap the morning after Fantasy Football League, as another week is in the books.
Yep.
Did you watch any Monday Night Football last night, or did you
A
choose
little
the World
bit.
Series?
A little bit. No, I did not. I thought I didn't know the World Series was on last night already.
And the World Series might be over soon.
I know.
Spoiler alert.
I saw that.
But it certainly will have an opportunity to talk about who won, who lost, and who is a complete joke in the morning after Fantasy Football League. No spoilers
Talking
there.
about yourself.
Oh, well, I guess there is spoilers now. Big J spoiled it for you. But also, we have an opportunity for you to go to Monster Jam this weekend over there at the Ford,
No,
Idaho.
it's not how you... Monster Jam!
You're right. I'm sorry, but I can't do it like you.
Yeah, you can. You just don't try.
Should I try? Ready?
Yeah.
Monster Jam!
There you go.
All right. You're right.
pretty good.
You're right. It felt good, too, when I ripped it off. You're right. But we also play music on this show. Let's get started. How about some Bush to kick things off? Come Down is the first song you're hearing on the morning after with Nick and Big J on the X.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
I guess he's okay.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
Hey, gas buddy.
Hey, Gas Buddy.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Hey, Gas Buddy. How are you, man? Happy
I'm
Tuesday
great.
to you. Great. You got news for us, Gas Buddy?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't have the gas buddy
What if
info.
I said, Gas Buddy, that the current gas prices in the city of Boise are kind of trending the way they were the last couple weeks? What would that give you any
They're
kind of...
going up.
No.
It's election time.
No, you keep saying that, but it's just not happening, Big J.
Huh, weird.
Or Gas Buddy, I'm sorry. It is another
Whatever.
week of declining gas prices. That is the 7th week in a row that we have seen gas prices fall. Gas Buddy, I was surprised that you went opposite of trends yet again. Is it just that you forget what happens the last couple
Nah,
weeks?
it's mocking people.
Oh, I see. The area saw a 3-cent drop in fuel prices. So over the last week, we have an average of $3.37 per gallon, according to Gas Buddy, of course. Prices are 12 cents lower than a month ago, 48 cents lower than last year. Cheapest station in Boise, $2.98 a gallon of gas. The most expensive, $3.69, a difference of 71 cents, of course. So it always matters where you fuel up, how much you're paying for your gas. The lowest station in the state, $2.92. Highest is $4 a gallon. That's a difference of 107. Diesel prices continue to drop as well. That dropped about 3 cents. It's down to $3.54 a gallon. That's the lowest price in over 1,100 days, according to Gas Buddy. Gas Buddy, thank you for all you do.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
He skipped right out of here.
Yep.
Holy cow, he was happy today. even though he gave us the wrong report at the beginning.
Whoops.
But hey, listen, we love you, guest buddy. I know I say some bad things about you, but that's more on me. It's more me than him. It's my fault. It's not guest buddy's fault. I take out my hostilities on him.
Weird.
Game 3 of the World Series was last night in New York. The hostile crowd. How would the Dodgers react with the 2-0 lead? The answer was, well, pretty good, man. They led pretty much the entire game. It was 4-0 heading into the bottom of the ninth. The Yankees tacked on 2 runs there, but final score 4-2. Your LA Dodgers are up 3-0, and Game 4 is tonight. The World Series could end tonight with a Dodgers sweep, and it's not like anybody's having an incredibly awesome World Series, like there's somebody dominating or anything. It's just the Dodgers
the Dodgers
pitching.
are dominating.
Yeah, the pitching has been, and because it's not one person, I guess is my point.
Right.
They're putting in a bunch of pitchers, and they're just hitting them with bullpen, and the starting pitchers do a good job for 4.5, 5 innings, and then they just turn things over, and the Yankees can't get anything going on offense, and so they're going to need a historic turnaround to put a fight into this thing. Do you still think it's going 7? It's going to have to.
No, it's not going 7.
If you want your Yankees
it's probably
to win.
ending tonight.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But we will see how it goes, because there was a lot of hype heading into this World Series about it being a pretty decent matchup, and it has been anything but, at least so far. Well, listen, that's not fair. Game 1 was incredibly exciting. A walk-off grand slam. That could have gone either way. And so there was a little bit of fireworks involved in some of the World Series games, so you have to give him a little bit of credit. Speaking of a little bit of credit, Big J, can we do a little follow-up and give some congratulations to Colin Farrell? He ran the Irish Life Dublin Marathon on Monday in 4 hours. The Penguin Star did it in support of the charity Deborah Ireland and wheeled his friend Emma Fogarty, who has a rare genetic condition. And he did so the last 2.5 miles of the race, and he did so to help raise some money for some charity. So he did a really good job. There was some great coverage of it, and it was nice to see him follow up on his word and do some really cool things to help out some people that really certainly need some help and some money. So way to go, Colin Farrell.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
That can't be easy. I mean, listen, it's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of that's easy.
Right.
And then to push somebody for 2.5 miles for charity is taking things up a notch. I mean, it's, 26.2 miles? Am I doing that right from memory?
I have no idea.
Is that what a marathon is? Big J's looking it up right now.
30 miles.
No, I think it's 26. Maybe I can't remember. It's 26.2 or 24 point something. But it's a long stretch to do a marathon. The answer is,
I don't know.
all right, I'm gonna look it
I
up.
love how I look it up and on this calculator, and then it makes me want to do stuff. And I'm like, what kind of stupid calculator is this?
Why are you looking it up on a calculator?
Well, 'cause
26.2. I was right. How about just using Google?
How was it, a 10K?
It's a marathon. A marathon is
Oh, a marathon.
26.2 miles. Yeah, like I said. See, this is why you listen. Even when I'm guessing, I get it right most of the time. Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Do it yourself, then.
I did. Because I used something called Google.com and not Calculator.com. What do you
No, I did. But I thought that a marathon was just like 10K. And you're trying to do the conversion to miles.
Oh, you were confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Marathon is a different form of distance than a 10K or a 5K or a 1K or a 3K. Morning After with Nick and Big J. That's it for important stuff. We got your screaming dumbass next on the X.
To the old, we're digging deep into the depths of Netflix. It's Streaming Dumbass on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
It is the final week of Screaming Dumbass. All October long, we have had horror movies as the theme for Streaming Dumbass. We have 3 movies up for grabs today. Big J will have to watch one of them. Which one he watches is not up to him. He does not make these decisions.
Yeah, it's up to you, people.
We are going over his head. And we are having you, the listener, choose which movie you want Big J to watch. You will do so by listening to me describe the movie from the streaming platform on which we find it. Sometimes there's a lot of details, other times there's not. And based only on that plot description must you select the movie. You do so by texting in movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3 to 208-287-1003. The movie that gets the most votes on the text line, well, that's the movie Big J will sit down and watch tonight in honor of Streaming Dumbass, and then give you a full review of it tomorrow. Are you ready, Big J?
Yeah.
Movie number 1. When a killer stalks a grieving woman, her fight for survival truly begins when every single thing starts to shut down. Will she find a place to hide and live? Question mark?
What?
Movie number 2. A crew of a ship sets sail to deliver some top-secret cargo. However, they soon discover they're not alone as an unknown presence turns the ship into a nightmarish fight for survival. It's like Morbius.
Yeah.
Remember that scene?
Oh, God.
Movie number
Gotta forget
3. A troubled father takes his son camping in Appalachia, where a local cult has summoned an evil demon. When the son goes missing, the father must do anything he can to find his son, including confronting pure evil. Movie number 1, Nothing is Working. Movie number 2, frickin' Ghost Ship. Or movie number 3, Never Go Camping. These are your 3 choices. All you have to do is text in which one of these movies would you like to task Big J with watching. Movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3. You send that text to 208-287-1003. We will tabulate all the votes, and we will announce the titles of all 3 movies, including the one Big J will be assigned to watch. That's happening next on the X Rocks. That is Green Day. That is American Idiot here on the morning after with Nick and Big J. Have the votes been tabulated on the text line, Big J?
Yeah, they sure have, man.
Do we have enough votes so that we have a clear and decisive winner?
Oh, by a long shot.
I love that idea. Then let's go down the actual movies and talk about which horror movie you're going to watch tonight for Screaming Dumbass. And we'll start with the movie that got the least amount of votes.
That's movie number 1.
Interesting. That's the one that I think might have some upside. It's been the number 1 movie on Netflix for the last couple of days. It is called Don't Move, starring Kelsey Asbill and Finn Wittrock, which is a wonderful name if he was in the Flintstones. I don't know anything about it other than it's been very, very popular. It's a story of a woman that goes into the forest, gets injected with something that essentially paralyzes her, and then she's in a terrible situation. She's got to find her way out without being able to move any part of her body as other parts of her body starts to shut down. It sounds like a real terrible thing.
I did see something about that. Yeah, she escapes a serial killer. And
it's like a killer in the woods or something like that,
right.
But she can't move or anything. It's a real awful horror movie scenario, but I heard some good things, but don't worry, you don't have to watch it. What movie came in second place?
Movie number 3.
This one looked like the dog of the bunch. It's called The Hangman. It stars LaJawn Woods and David Berkeley, and it is on Amazon Prime. If you thought the father taking his son camping and then coming across a demon that was conjured up by a cult sounded interesting to you, that's the movie that you would like to watch. You can find it on Amazon Prime. Sounds like you'll be watching movie number 2.
Yeah, and several people voted saying Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship.
It's not called Ghost Ship. It actually is the only movie of the 3 that got a theatrical release, although it did bomb at the movie theater. It is called The Last Voyage of the Demeter, and it is based on just a single chapter.
Dementor.
No, there's no end in it. It's Demeter.
Interesting.
And it is based on a single chapter in Bram Stoker's Dracula novel, and they expanded it into a movie. It stars Liam Cunningham. Of course, you know him as the Onion Thief from Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And it also stars a little gentleman that was in your movie that you watched last week that you didn't like. David Dastmalchian is in this movie as well. So you will be watching The Last Voyage of the Demeter. It is on Paramount Plus, and that is where you will find it.
I've been wanting to watch this for a while.
Wonderful.
So, I remember we were watching, we were doing movies after podcast, and it was one of the...
We kept seeing the preview
the
over
preview.
and over and over and over
Yeah.
again. Yeah, it didn't do well in the box office, but now it's kind of teed up for spooky season, so we'll see if it's any good or not. If you want to play the home game, it's called The Last Voyage of the Demeter. It is on Paramount Plus. You can watch it there, and Big J will do exactly that and report back tomorrow and let you know if it's worth your time or not. Morning After with Nick and Big J on the way. Some important stuff. Let's not forget we have another clue in the X-Rock murder mystery. It's all coming up on the X.
Here's traffic.
Is she a legend?
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Hypothetical situation for you, Big J.
Okay.
You are by yourself, but you are at the grocery store parking lot getting ready to go shopping for you and your family.
Yeah.
A van pulls up, and they throw you into the van, and you are kidnapped in this van, right?
Yeah.
You are tied up.
Good luck to 'em.
You cannot move. You are you have been overpowered by several men. Not the first time in your life this has happened. And so they tie you to a chair. They rough you up a little bit, just so you know that they mean business, right? And they get in your face. And they say, "I got one question to ask you, Big J. Who is your favorite celebrity chef? Tell me now. Who is it?"
Yeah, for Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri, okay. Is there a second place?
Yeah, let's go with Jose Garces.
All right. Wow, look at you.
Nah,
Big
I'm just
J.
kidding. It's Bobby Flay.
All right.
Come on.
Bobby Flay, it's interesting because they have put together a survey of America's favorite celebrity chefs. I've only got the top 5 here, but I was surprised to find out that Guy Fieri did not make that list.
Yeah, I didn't see him on that list either.
No.
That's why I mentioned it.
Gordon Ramsay is the number 1 celebrity chef that is the favorite of most Americans. He got 40% of the vote. Rachel Ray got 31%. And then your buddy Iron Chef Bobby Flay got 28% of the vote. Here's where it starts to go a little. I mean, Emerald was number 5, which I guess okay.
Boom.
Yeah. Number 4 was Martha Stewart. Now, I think you and I have had this conversation before. I don't think of her as a chef. I think of her as a lifestyle brand and somebody that does a lot of different things and, like, you know, home decoration and clothing. But I don't think of her as a chef.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't, I obviously Guy Fieri is a chef, but I don't know if people think of him as a chef necessarily, more as a food presenter.
Interesting.
You know, because he doesn't really do, at this point in stage, he hosts Triple G.
He's more of a host than a
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of, like, cooking shows anymore. I kind of miss him when he used to do Big Bite and that sort of stuff, but that's not his deal as much as, Bobby Flay's out there beating people and
about the
competing.
neck and face, yeah. Maybe it was Bobby Flay that actually kidnapped you. And before they let you go, Big J, your kidnappers ask you how much would you pay for a 3-course meal from your favorite chef, Guy Fieri? How much would you? I mean, he's got his own restaurant, but he doesn't cook that food. How much would you?
$25.
How much would you pay for a curated meal that was prepared by?
The wrong question. Would I eat at that restaurant if I had COVID? And only if it's Gordon Ramsay's burgers.
Wait, no, I'm talking
Honest
about
to God, I swear to God, I had COVID when I went in and had that burger at that restaurant.
Right, you went to Kitchen Nightmares, right, in Vegas?
Yeah,
and it was good, right?
Yeah, I didn't know I had COVID at the time.
But what about Guy Fieri? If he sat down and prepared, I'm not talking about going to one of his restaurants. I'm talking about he prepares you a meal. How much would you pay?
Oh, like a couple $100.
Okay.
Just for the time to hang out.
$500 is what most people would pay for their celebrity chef to make them a meal.
That seems reasonable to me because you're getting an experience.
Has Guy Fieri encouraged you to try new cooking techniques, Big J?
Sure, yeah.
Have you bought a kitchen product endorsed by Guy Fieri?
No.
Then you are in the minority there. But celebrity chefs do have a lot of influence on people, including people that do like to work with food. That includes you. But I think you have messed around with other celebrity chef stuff, right?
No,
you don't
really.
have any Bobby Flay stuff or anything like any Rachel Ray knives or something like that?
No, because that stuff's so expensive.
You're right.
Like Guy Fieri had a line of like knuckle. Let's see, I forget what he calls it, knucklehead or something like that. Knives, but they were just so expensive. And then Gordon Ramsay's pimping that hex-clad stuff. That stuff's expensive as well.
Yeah. Well, listen,
So-
you get they're like Nikes. You get a celebrity endorsement. It's going to cost you some cash.
Right.
So you haven't done it yet. Not to say that you wouldn't. You just haven't dropped the hammer on those kind of big price items.
I'm more apt to buy stuff from some of the people I love more in the smoky meat world.
Example.
Like Meat Church. Like I'll buy Meat Church stuff all day long.
Is that somebody that does that?
Yeah, Matt Pittman.
Okay. But is that more affordable as well?
Yeah.
Okay. That helps.
He has a line of seasonings and stuff like that.
With some college football fans kind of tired of the Deion Sanders show, this is probably bad news for them. The Colorado Buffaloes are back in the top 25, sitting in number 23 for now. So the Coach Deion hype train is moving on. Of course, they had their fair share of publicity. He's got an Amazon Prime show as well. He's got a player that is playing both ways. That is kind of, I think, Ashton Genty's biggest competition for the Heisman Trophy. So there's a lot of hype surrounding Colorado.
He's injured.
I know.
Travis Hunter, so he's not coming back, right?
No, I think he might in some way. I don't know how super hurt he is, but I do know that the Buffaloes are ranked 23, so we'll see if they come together. Of course, Colorado was ranked last year, too, before the wheels came off. We will see what ends up happening in the later part of the season. Big J, Jumanji 3 is coming out, my friend, December 11th, 2026.
You force my hand later.
No, not at all. According to Variety, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Karen Gillian, Kevin Hart, Jack Black are all back and expected to reprise their roles for another adventure. Are you on board?
Oh, yeah, man. The first two are great.
I did not see the second one. I
Well,
like
that's
the
on
first
you.
one a lot. I know it's true. I don't even know where I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. I just don't know where. That was the one with Danny Glover and Danny DeVito, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Aquafina.
Of course. You like Aquafina, and she popped up in
Welcome
there
to
as well.
Jumanji.
Is that one of her lines?
No. The guy, in I forget his name. He's a character actor. He's the.
I know. His name's Rice.
There you go.
He's
the
in
NPC.
Voltron. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your important stuff. We will have another clue in the X-Rock murder mystery. That's next on the X-Rocks.
Bringing to light stories that are incredibly f***ed up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Won't you join me in my own private hell?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
New Hampshire is where we're going for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J. You ever been?
Hampshire. Yeah.
Kind of driven through on your trip up to Maine?
Yep.
And, it's amazing. You got to give it up. I mean, there are some professions where it is really, really easy to lose your job. You do one small thing wrong. You make one little teeny tiny mistake. You throw like a bunch of shakes at somebody. Next thing you know, you're fired. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
But there are other jobs and certain professions that you can get into where it's amazing how difficult it is to be fired from your job, no matter how much wrong you are doing. And today's story kind of revolves around that. You ever have a bad doctor, Big J?
I don't know. I don't think so. Bad doctor's office.
How do you mean?
But not a doctor. Well, you never get in.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They don't just call you back, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
not the doctor themselves.
Good. Then congratulations, because
Yeah, you're living right.
there is a doctor named Graham Holmes in New Hampshire that I think would qualify as a bad doctor. And the thing is, the story is a thing this morning because he finally got fired from his hospital job after years and years and years of allegations and misconduct and all sorts of stuff. But it took him this long to put together a case. It started in 2019. Here we are in 2024. So this is a 5-year process for somebody to get removed from their medical license. But, and I'll get to the coup de grace in a second, but one of the many things he was famous for doing was insulting patients. He was like an insult doctor. So he would often
An insult doctor?
Yeah, like somebody would come in that would have something wrong and go, they would schedule it. He would say that they needed to get a CT scan or MRI scan just to make sure if they have a brain, because they're so stupid and they come in here when they're really not that sick.
Like Triumph the comic insult dog, but it's a doctor?
Yeah. So there were a couple patient complaints where like, hey, this guy is like just really mean about it. Like, I mean, I could take a joke, but he was like looking me in the eye and going, we need to give you an MRI to make sure you have a brain, you idiot. Why are you here? And so that probably wasn't that great. The second opportunity came along when he started working at different hospitals. He kept kind of losing jobs throughout his career for different reasons, including...
He says that to me, he might lose some teeth.
Some,
What the hell?
I know. So, including maybe some prescription pills missing while he was there. So that's an issue as well. That's not something you want to do. But the big problem was for the last 2 years, Big J, he has been relieving himself in consultation room sinks. And then basically not telling anybody, not cleaning anything up. They have footage of him just basically taking a pee in the sink where you sit down in these rooms and getting
bizarre.
salmon. It's really weird. There are bathrooms there, yo. I mean, you can go to the bathroom if you want to. Why you would choose or opt in to go in any sink really is a question I have for anybody. I mean, if there's no other option, then I can
I'm gonna
understand.
go right here in this sink.
Yeah. You know what? I just finished seeing a patient. I'm going to go ahead and drop trowel and just relieve myself and see how this goes. And then, come what may. I don't know. But they caught him on camera doing them at least 5 times. So it was an ongoing thing. And finally, it was the urination in the consultation rooms that ended up getting this gentleman to have his medical license removed, which makes you think all sorts of stuff like what else was going on there. If
It
that
had
was
nothing
something
to do with him malpracticing a medical profession.
No, he's just being weird and doing things that aren't normal and you shouldn't be able to do in what's supposed to be a sanitary environment. And so there's a lot of stuff that's going wrong there. But it does make me go, okay, listen, if you're comfortable just going to the bathroom in a consultation room sink, what else is going on that they don't have you on camera doing? That, I mean, did he wash his hands before procedures? God knows. Who knows what's going on there? So the good news is Dr. Graham Holmes will not be practicing anymore. The bad news is it took him 5 years to figure this out. So If you lived in and around New Hampshire and you had a Dr. Holmes on your list of people, you might want to do a couple of checkups and just to make sure you're firing on all cylinders there.
When the administrator came in to fire him, I wonder if they said, we're going to have to get you an MRI. See if you got a brain, dummy.
Damn!
Stop peeing in the sinks.
Yeah, drag his ass. I love it. I don't know if that happened or not, but I certainly hope that it did. Now the question becomes, what do? You got a doctor's license. Do you start up your own practice in your backyard where you can pee anywhere you want, I guess?
Apparently. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Important stuff is on the way. So is Pop Culture Smackdown. It's the X-Rocks.
Here's traffic.
Live from the Coors Light Media Chill Studios. KQXR Payette Boise HD and KRVB HD2 is 100.3 The X.
It is the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Always nice when we get to announce a really big concert for you, and we have one that we think is going to make you very, very excited. Let's do it.
It's another 100.3 The X concert announcement.
Big J, who's coming to town?
Yeah, coming on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day 2025 at the Revolution Concert House and Event Center is Killswitch Engage.
That's a big one. It's going to be awesome. And the guest lineup is pretty good as well, right?
Yeah, you've got Kublai Khan and Fit for a King along with Frozen Soul. So it's going to be a hell of a show, part of the 30th anniversary concert series from 100.3 The X Rocks, and cannot wait for 2025, man.
Tickets are going to go on sale this Friday. It's going to be a hell of a show, so make your St. Patty's Day plans now so that you can see this band when they return to town as part of the X's 30th anniversary concert series. It's Killswitch Engage. Always, it's the X.
Spanning the globe in search of news. Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Might be time to get our old friend Flavor FLav on the phone.
Flavor FLav!
We're best friends with Flavor FLav, right?
I mean, I don't know about best friends, but really just acquaintances.
Serious question. You think Flavor FLav remembers us?
No, why would he?
I mean, we did spend like a whole night together in Las Vegas.
Not really.
We were
spent
backstage.
15 minutes
No,
with him.
it was more than 15 minutes.
He would not remember.
You don't think?
No.
Yeah, he's sober now.
That
He
was
was
8
pretty.
or 9 years ago. He's had many, many encounters, I'm sure, with other goofy-ass radio people.
You don't think he remembers hanging out backstage with his childhood buddy Chris Angel, and then two guys are back there shooting the bleep with him for like 45 minutes, and then we did an interview with him, took a bunch of pictures.
Nope.
Did a bunch of coke off his clock.
No, that didn't happen.
Huh?
That did not happen.
All right.
There was
But-
no Coke clock.
We need to make sure we get him on the phone because there's another business that needs to be saved, Big J. TGI Fridays has closed nearly 50 restaurants across the country in the last week, and now they are facing some serious bankruptcy concerns. Wave of closures follows an earlier shutdown of 36 restaurants this January. The chain began the year with 270 locations in the United States, had some international presence, but the pandemic shut them down. I know the one in Nampa recently shut down. Is there now a no TGI Fridays in the Treasure Valley?
Maybe? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I mean, I haven't been to one in a long time.
The one on Milwaukee's been closed for a really long time. And the one in Nampa, that's where the In-N-Out's going to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
over there.
I don't know if there are any more TGI Fridays here in the Treasure Valley that people can enjoy. Was that a place that you used to frequent or that you enjoyed?
Not really.
Really?
I mean, I've been a couple times, but it seemed to me it would go up and down in like quality.
Yeah.
Relatively quickly.
I think those chain restaurants have an they have a lot of those peaks and valleys that you have to deal with on a regular basis for sure.
I think I noticed some of that when I started like cooking mostly for myself, realizing this is not that great.
You're like, wow, I'm a better chef than TGI Friday himself.
Yeah, take that,
Yeah.
TGI.
It's one of probably the two reasons why they're not here anymore. They're like, well, we can't outcook Big J. What the hell are we having these doors open for?
Exactly.
Let's get out now. And they did. So, listen, I don't know if that can be turned around. And if it can, if anybody can save it, it's Flavor FLav. So we call on you now, Flavor. Do your thing and see if you can't save another American business. We had World Series Game 3 last night. Final score, Dodgers 4, New York Yankees 2. The Dodgers now hold a commanding 3-0 lead in the World Series. They are sitting just 1-1 away from their first title in 4 years, and Big J, what they're calling their first full season championship since 1988. Of course, the year the Dodgers did win the World Series 4 years ago, that was the COVID-shortened year, and so there was a lot of discrepancies involved in that. So we will see if they can come together now. Game 4 is tonight. So the Dodgers can close this thing out and bring out the brooms and sweep the series in New York, in the Bronx, if they can pull that off. If you are a Harry Potter fan and you enjoy soundtracks and or scores for movies, know this. The original motion picture soundtrack will be released as a 16 LP box set coming out November 29th. It includes music from all 8 films. Of course, John Williams is the composer of most of those. Patrick Doyle, Nicholas Hopper, and Alexandre Desplat also doing some of the work on some of those movies. But I know you're a big score fan. Did the Harry Potter score stick out to you at all?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's not bad, right?
Nothing like I go back to, because it's not one of my favorite things.
Sure. But this is one of those movies that, they do those series, and they've done it at the Morrison Center, as a matter of fact, where they will air they will show the movie, and then they'll have a live orchestra performing the score the soundtrack as you do it.
When they do that.
We saw A New Hope that way. Yeah. That was really awesome when they did that. So if you have a chance to check out live orchestral music performing a score of one of your favorite movies, highly recommend it. It's beautiful and gorgeous. And if you're a collector or a Harry Potter fan, this may be something for you. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got ourselves some Pop Culture Smackdown. That's happening next on the X.
Here's traffic.
Pop Culture Smackdown. Right. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, Pop Culture Smackdown time, baby. That means you get to win something, and we have tickets to Monster Jam. It's happening this weekend at the Ford Idaho Center Arena, and boy, Monster Jam is a lot of fun. So, hey, whether we're going to take the kids or maybe a friend or maybe a date night, either way, you're going to win these tickets when you beat me in Pop Culture Smackdown.
If you beat you in Pop Culture Smackdown.
We'll see.
208-287.
October hasn't been my month.
1003 is the number you need to call if you'd like to play this game and see if you can defeat Big J and grab these Monster Jam tickets. Do you think you got what it takes? We shall see. Big J says he's not feeling it because it's October, but you never know how this thing's going to all play out. So to the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Tim.
Tim, you're up first. Tim, what Looney Tunes character has the catchphrase, "That's all, folks"?
Daffy Duck?
Oh. Wrong. No, it's not Daffy Duck. Big J, just for bonus points, what's Daffy Duck's catchphrase?
Boy.
That's despicable. Oh,
that's despicable. That's what I said.
That's exactly what you said. Yeah, good job. Hello, the X.
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. What Looney Tunes character has the catchphrase, "That's all, folks"?
Oh, folks. Porky the Pig.
One more time?
Porky the Pig?
Porky? Yeah, we'll take it.
Right.
Porky the Pig. Porky Pig. You know, Big J, you're Porky Pigging it all the time. Not wearing any shorts. What? Big J, how many of the original Star Wars films did George Lucas direct? We're talking original trilogy now.
All 3 of them.
Wrong.
Get out of here.
No, he did not direct all 3.
Wow, really?
As a matter of fact, he only directed 1.
Right.
The first one. Then he panned it off to Lawrence Kasdan to do the other 2. But, yeah, he only directed the 1, and then he came back and directed Phantom Menace, and I don't know if he directed 2 and 3 of the prequels.
Jeez, man. Because I'm, like, shook now.
I like to pretend those never happened. Congratulations, man. You got tickets to Monster Jam. Enjoy your time out there at the Ford Idaho Center. Hang on 1 second, and look at you learning something today, Big J.
Boy, what happened?
I don't know. It's October. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, there's your Pop Culture Smackdown. We got ourselves some headlines. That's happening next on the X Rocks.
You are now a better person for knowing this. It's Headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Headlines brought to you by Beacon Plumbing for tank and tankless water heaters, clogged drains, leaky faucets, toilets that just won't flush. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating and Mechanical, your trusted plumbing source. Online at beaconplumbing.com. Headlines are as follows. That's a lot of cheese. Big J's worst nightmare and weird choice.
Oh, Big J's worst nightmare.
Passengers were stuck on the Monkey Mayhem roller coaster, Big J, at West Midlands Safari Park on Friday afternoon after a damn beam fell onto the track. Regal Smith, who was at the British kind of theme park with her son, said people began screaming and then running away. The ride was visibly shaking as the carts went around, according to Smith. At least 2 people were stuck on the ride for well over 6 hours while a rescue team retrieved them. Fortunately, no one was injured. The ride has been closed, Big J, and now will have to be inspected. You should do that whenever beams start falling off of things, I think.
Yeah.
That is a good course of action. But I don't know. This had to be like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I saw like this video that somebody had posted of at a theme park somewhere in like Ohio where like this beam was visibly off the actual track of the roller coaster and it was like loose. And somebody had to point it out to the people working going, hey, people are going to
die.
The cart's going to fall off this thing if this thing goes. And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll close it down. And they did. And so you got to be careful. Head on a swivel, man. I mean, roller coasters have been around for a while. Things can fall apart, you know?
Yeah, that's why I don't go on them.
They're out there in the elements. You never know what's going to happen. So just be careful. And I love a roller coaster. I do. I enjoy them. I don't have the same fear Big J does. I love roller coasters. But still, seeing stuff like that always gives me the heebie-jeebies. Because, like, you mean, that would not be fun, right?
No.
One way to go, for sure. But then again, Big J, I mean, you can count on one hand the amount of times that happened. That's a lot of cheese or weird choice.
Weird choice.
Fewer than 60 people live in a town called Ichigano, Japan, and many families have left in pursuit of jobs and education. To replace the sight of families playing in parks and taking strolls, residents have decided to place life-size puppets around town. So now the puppets in this small little town actually outnumber the people. Mannequins can be seen swaying on swings, riding scooters, pushing carts. Of course, 2-year-old Kazusuke Kano was actually the first baby to be born in that town in almost 2 decades. And so they're basically a town populated by a bunch of puppets, and that seems like it's something straight out of a horror movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apparently, it's a crazy kind of thing to be seen. It looks really, really creepy in pictures, but I'm not sure, like, the puppet aesthetic would make me feel more at home if a place had that going on there.
No, that's creep time.
Yeah. That feels like it's something out of a horror show. And behind one of these mannequins or one of them will come to life or something. It's like Puppet Master, and next thing you know, it's game over. No fun. Hard pass on that, so no thank you. But listen, if you're into it, maybe go visit that place. Wrap it up with that's a lot of cheese. Over 22 tons of cheddar cheese, Big J, was taken from Neil Yard's Dairy in the UK. The store claimed in an Instagram post that the theft was carried out by a fake who posed as a legitimate wholesale distributor for a major French retailer. Unfortunately, the store discovered the ruse after 950 wheels of these very expensive cheeses were delivered. The dairy says it's working with law enforcement and urges cheesemongers around the world to report suspicious cloth-bound cheddars to their particular store. But somebody pulled off one of the cheese heists of the century, Big J.
Damn.
What do you do? I mean, there's got to be a black market for it, but 950 wheels of gigantic cheddar cheese, 22 tons, that's a lot. That'll back you up for a while, Big J. You will not be going to the bathroom for a long time.
Yeah, a couple decades.
If you eat that much cheese. Although, do any of these sound familiar to you? Hafford cheddar, Westcombe cheddar, Pitchfork cheddar?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like super fancy cheese or if it was just some cheese that is famous over there.
You would
in
know
England.
better. You're from Wisconsin.
Everybody says that, but I am not the cheese expert that the people of Wisconsin are portrayed to be. I just know of certain types of cheeses, but once we get down past surface level on cheese, I'm of no use to anyone. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your headlines. You're officially up to date on everything. Do we have to recap the Morning After Fantasy Football League?
Yeah, dude, we do.
All right.
Don't be a loser.
We'll do that next on the X-Rocks. That is Scott Stapp. That is Black Butterfly here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. It's time to recap the Morning After Fantasy Football League. It is week number 8 in the books, Big J. How did it turn out for I've Fallen and Can't Win?
I've Fallen and Can't Win. I probably need to change my name, Nick, to I've Fallen and Kick Ass.
Whoa!
I feel bad, though, because I was going up against hit me with your Prescott, and Jesse hasn't won a game yet.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's got a decent enough team, so I'm not sure what the problem is, but maybe it's continuing going up against teams that each player on their team scores double digits. That'll always put you in the positive. And Nick, I've had some injury stuff. So one of my wide receivers, Paku Nakua, has been on the injured reserve. He managed to get off that reserve over the weekend. I did not really have a chance to put him in my lineup. He scored 18 points, but I was fortunate enough to have a good showing from Jacoby Myers. He got me 17 points. Brock Purdy, I put him in. He got 26 points over Jaden Daniels, who's suffering from a rib injury. Not sure how that was going to play out. He managed to put in a pretty good game as well. Aaron Jones, my main running back, got me 11 points. The real surprise here is my other running back, Guerrero. He's the third string running back for the San Francisco 49ers, Nick. I managed to have him in my lineup, and he scored 19 points, so that wasn't too shabby at all. A.J. Brown got me 13 points. And George Kittle for the Niners, it was a good game for those guys. He got me 24 points. And because of my injuries, I've been playing 2 tight ends in my lineup, and that has worked out pretty well because Kraft for the Green Bay Packers got 16 points. I got 12 points for my kicker and 12 points for my defense. So, I mean, that's a good showing. 152 points, Nick. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Jordan Love struggled and was injured in the game, so he only scored 5 points for the Green Bay Packers. Mason went out early, I think, with a injury. That's the running back for the San Francisco 49ers. And he got 20 points out of Devontae Smith, the wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. And Sam Laporta got him 16 points as well in that thrashing that Detroit put down on the Titans. But he could only muster 85 points, so it was a real slaughter, man.
Yeah, you almost doubled him up, man.
I know.
That is tough, and so he remains winless, and you improved too?
I am now 5-3.
Congratulations, man. You are doing well. Yeah. The hope for you to win a championship and have somebody on this show do it is in your hands because my free fall continues. I was going up against a tough team.
I tried to get you to give me Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you somebody, but got to give it a hawk to Scott has a really good team, and he proved it against me. I don't think he saw coming, nor did I, 29 points out of McConkey, the wide receiver for the certainly the Chargers, but that's what he ended up getting, his high scorer, but also got 20 points out of Gibbs, the running back for Detroit. Mayfield had a huge game for him as well. He put up 135 points. I had a decent game myself, 106 points. Everybody in double digits with the exception of Amari Cooper, but I did leave some points on my bench with Tracy, who had a big game last night, but I don't think I was going to put him in after his bad game last week.
Yeah.
And then Marvin Harrison Jr. showed up this week when he hasn't the last couple of weeks. And again, I had Amari Cooper in my lineup who had a terrible game, but I think just based up on matchups, I made the right call coaching-wise. It certainly didn't end up being that way. Wouldn't have made a difference anyway. Even if I had the extra 20 points, I still would have only lost by 4, so it probably would have hurt. I never had the lead in this game. I was never going to win it, so I got to give it up to Scott. Congratulations. He improves to 6-2, one of the better teams in the league. Winning his 4 straight. I have lost 5 of my last 6. Really, honestly, my season went downhill the second I lost my 2 players that are on IR. When I lost Nico Collins and Pachenko, that was just it. All the momentum was gone. And I've got some really good players. It's just I can't quite get the job done. So I need a miracle to even have half a shot at contention here. And sitting at 2-6, one of the worst teams in the league. Doesn't feel good. I don't like being in the basement. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm rallying my guys in the locker room. I'm trying to get them to get into this game, but it is not going well for me so far. So I'm going to cry a little bit about that. But congratulations to everybody else that did win. There were some really, really high scores, including yourself, Big J, in the league this week. Pulverine picking up his second win, improving to 5-3 with a 129-94 win over Team Rage. His team leader ended up being Chris. Listen, Tight Ends Day, it's almost weird how big tight end scores were this weekend when it was National Tight Ends Day, but got 29 points out of Kate Otten, the tight end for the Buccaneers, 12 points out of his kicker as well as 18 points out of Patrick Mahomes, who finally had a good game. And all that Team Rage could kind of muster was 15 points out of Brandon Thomas, the rookie wide receiver for the Jaguars. Also got 15 points out of the Steelers defense last night, but when your defense is your leading scorer, it's rarely a good sign, and that was the case here. Trevor falls to 2-6 right there with me in the bottom of the barrel, so we'll see you down there. Nice little win by Nakuna Matata, excuse me. I don't want to give you the Disney credit, but nice 22 points out of Calvin Ridley and McBride, the tight end for Arizona, got 21 points to lead him to a 123, 120, and 112 victory over Ham Wallet, who got a good game out of Joe Mixon and Rashawn Stevenson, but that's about it. Everybody else in single digits, and that's just not going to get it done for Sarah, who also falls to 2-6 on the season right there with me down there. The big score of the week was Matty Ice. Dude put up 172 points. Zach had a good game. Mad Max Crosby, Stills, and Nash had 137 points. Would have won a lot of games this week, just not against Matty Ice, who was just on fire. 35 points out of Jalen Hurts, 25 out of Kyle Pitts, 25 out of A-Chain, the running back for the Miami Dolphins, 23 out of Bijan Robinson, 18 out of Swift, 18 out of Justin Jefferson. It was a good week for Matty Ice. 172 points is pretty damn impressive.
Damn.
Josh Jacobs leading the way, and also CeeDee Lamb, almost a 40-burger for Mad Max, but just not enough to give him the win this week. But those are two good teams. Matt and Zach both are now 5-3 in the Morning After Fantasy Football League. And finally, the number one team in the league continues to be the number one team in the league. Monsters of the Midway with a 136-117 win over Prestige Worldwide. Justin, 7-1, alone in first place. This one was close throughout, but got a nice 20 points out of Jamar Chase, 22 points out of Kyron Williams for the Rams, and then James Cook got him 28 points for the Bills to give him that victory. Lamar Jackson did okay for Prestige Worldwide, and also some balanced attack with he had Shakir in the lineup and Dobbs as well for the Packers, but just not enough to muster over the number one team in the league. So congratulations to Justin, who improves to 7-1. Big J, who do you have next week, for God's sake?
I got Ham Wallet.
All right.
So going up against Sarah, and her team has struggled, so we'll see. I got a bunch of players, most of my offensive output on bye.
Yeah, so. You got a lot of 49ers on your team, so that's how that works. I will be going up against another bottom dweller, Team Rage, and I battling for our third win of the year. Somebody's got to win. It's a battle of who wants it less. We'll see what ends up happening in our matchup in week number 9. That's your recap of the Morning After Fantasy Football League. Your bad impressions, they're next on the X.
From the home office.
Bad impressions.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, and bad impressions. Oh, man, we have got nice little tickets for you to Monster Jam happening this weekend at the Ford Idaho Center Arena. All the big trucks going to be there jumping over stuff and probably crushing some things. You don't want to miss out. Figure out bad impressions here today, and these tickets are yours for free.
All right, you want to go? Well, you're going to have to play a game, 208-287-1003. That's the number that you need to call if you'd like to play. And bad impressions works like this. Big J has come up with 3 clues. They all revolve around somebody famous today.
Yep, very famous.
And all you have to do is figure out who that famous person is in those 3 clues or less. If you do, then these Monster Jam tickets become your Monster Jam tickets, and life is good. To the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Yeah, how's it going?
We're good, buddy. What's your name?
It's Chad.
All right, Chad, you're up first. Good luck.
My early career in the 60s and 70s, I squinted more than I talked in the movies.
Next.
Go ahead. Make my day. Might be one of the most famous movie lines ever, and I said it.
That would be old Clint Eastwood.
That's right.
Good job, man. Hang on one second, Chad. We'll hook you up with those Monster Jam tickets. Enjoy some monster trucks on us. What was clue 3 for giggles?
Once upon a time, I talked to an empty chair at a Republican National Convention.
And why is Clint Eastwood in the news?
Clint Eastwood's 94. Don't worry, folks. He's still kicking it. But he's put out he's putting out a movie from Warner Brothers called Juror Number 2, starring Nicholas Hoult. And word is Warner Brothers kind of burying the whole thing.
Oh, no.
And they're not really sure why, because they just had this in a film festival in L.A., and critics are raving about it.
Well, then what the hell?
But apparently Warner Brothers, they may have been a little burnt on Cry Macho, which was terribly received at the box office, and critics didn't exactly like that movie. So it might be one of those things where, like, we're just going to let Clint make movies until he dies.
Did you see Cry Macho?
No, I did not.
I didn't either. As a matter of fact, until you said it, I forgot it existed. And I knew it was a thing. I couldn't even tell you what it's about.
It's been a minute since I've seen a Clint Eastwood movie.
He's in that one, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, is he in this one as well? Or
no,
is this,
I don't think so. The movie is about a juror played by Nicholas Hoult who is he's in a murder trial, and he realizes that he has some knowledge about this case, but if he reveals some of it, it might screw up some of his own past. So he's got this moral dilemma happening.
Oh, my God. What will happen with juror number 2, Big J?
I don't know.
We like Nicholas Hoult, though, right?
Yeah, he's great.
So we will see how that goes. It may be right to streaming or Max or something. You know what the other thing could be? Warner Brothers doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And
Zaslow's ruining pretty much everything he's touching. So
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Relatable, right?
Yep.
That's your bad impressions. We will wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks.
Hey, everyone.
That's wrapping up the Morning After with Nick and Big J on this Tuesday morning. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. It is great to hear from you. Hang out, have a good time. We had another clue in the X Rock Murder Mystery. Somebody took a guess, didn't quite get it right. So you have 2 more opportunities. You hear that clue today at 12:30 and 5:30. It's all brought to you by our good friends at the Advocates Injury Attorneys. Thank you for their help this particular year. We also talked about how maybe it takes a little bit much for doctors to get fired sometimes. But once you pee in the sink, Big J, everybody's throwing you out. It's just that's the deal breaker for everybody. Sorry. It's just the way that it goes. And we also announced a pretty big concert today, part of the X's 30th anniversary concert series with Killswitch Engage coming to town on St. Patrick's Day next year at the Rev Center. Tickets will go on sale on Friday, and that leaves you with the floor, Big J.
Yeah, today, happy birthday to Winona Ryder, Lydia Dietz herself.
Happy birthday, Winona Ryder. 52?
She's really close, 53.
All right, happy birthday. Winona Ryder, of course, star of Beetlejuice, and the upcoming final season of Stranger Things. You still geeked for that?
Yeah.
Or has the time? Okay. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, a couple years it feels like.
Man. Do you think they'll ever explain the aging thing? They have to this year, right? How the kids are like this is only supposed to happen like a matter of 3 years, but the kids are so old.
Yeah, they're like adults now.
Yes, they're all they're all 21. It's insane. But whatever it is, Stranger Things is still a big hit. Congratulations to them. And how will you celebrate Winona Ryder's birthday?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I thought you brought it up for a reason.
I'll have some cookies.
Winona Ryder party.
Well, either that or somebody else. So.
What's that?
It's either mention that or somebody else.
For their birthday?
Yeah.
Who was the other person?
Dan Castellaneta.
Oh, from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
The voice of Homer Simpson. How old is he?
He's 60-something.
All right. So older than Lydia D.
Yep.
Got it. Morning After with Nick and Big J. That's it. Jason Drew's up next. So see you tomorrow. It's the X Rocks.